This episode of Captured Pittsburgh Darkroom has been made possible by generous contributions from Friendship, Perk, and Brew, Small Universe, and Captured Identity. Today we're featuring the song The Rainbow Connection as interpreted by Danny Rechtenwald.
So many cameras. I'm a photographer. I'm on the other side of cameras. This is not how I work.
So, is this your first interview?
Yes, I think.
You think? Well, you would have been at the other ones. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Captured Pittsburgh's Darkroom. Today, we are at Friendship, Perk, and Brew with Kathryn Hyslop. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me.
So, why don't you start by giving us a little bit of background of who Kathryn Hyslop is?
Sure. Well, I'm a photographer, which is why I'm here, and I own Kathryn Hyslop Photography. I mostly photograph weddings and high school seniors, but I dabble in a bit of everything too. So.
And we're all going to assume that you're from the Pittsburgh area. What part of town are you from?
The Bellevue Avalon area. So like just 10 minutes outside of downtown, kind of to the north.
Born and raised?
Born and raised. Still live there. 5 minutes from where I grew up.
So photography. So I know that you just went full-time photography. What did you do before that?
Marketing and like administration for, I used to be for an architecture firm and then a real estate company. I did photography for them too. So
there was a little bit of photography mixed in there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So what's it like being a true entrepreneur now?
Well, I've only been full-time now for 3 weeks, not even. So, good. still trying to put together a real schedule and
still got that little bit of scaredness in there.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think that's anyone that freelances. Yes. I don't think that goes away.
Yeah. So photography, what type of photography? Portraits and weddings, right?
Yeah. Mostly weddings and high school seniors, but a bit of everything that comes my way.
And you just came back to Pittsburgh. You were out of town. Where were you?
I went out and traveled in the Vegas area. So pretty much anywhere 3 hours drive from Vegas. Explored all the national parks out there and had a few destination shoots trying to up the destination portfolio.
So there you go. When you're that popular that people pay you to go to Vegas to take their picture, that's the kind of photographer you need to be, right?
That's what I like, yeah.
So how did you get into photography?
Kind of a roundabout way. So my dad always did photography as a hobby when I was growing up, and I did everything artsy you could get your hands on. Played like 5 instruments, did musicals, painted horribly, was really bad at it, and dabbled in photography. And then my parents had always said that when my sister and I went off to college, they were going to sell the house and not tell us where they went. And I always thought they were joking.
That's so funny.
Yes. I always thought they were joking. But then I graduated college, came back home, was like, hey, I'm moving in so I can find a job. And they're like, oh no, we're selling the house and leaving. And they did. So they did tell us where they went, but my dad took his equipment with him, kind of like he owned it or something. So I couldn't use it anymore. And I bought my own and just kind of fell into it. The way I think a lot of people start their business. Not exactly the best way to start a business, I have to say. I did a lot wrong at first, but yeah, that's how it happened.
I like that you can joke about like your parents saying, no, you're not moving back in. But I come from that same exact background. When I turned 18, my parents, they're like, you're out the door. And I'm like, what? But now, when I look back at it, it's like, that was probably the best thing they ever did is to make you independent and live on your own. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that you have that same kind of funny story. My parents didn't pick up and leave, not tell me where they were going, but
they did tell me where they went. They joked about that, but
yeah, that's funny. So when you first got started, is there a specific image that you think of that you captured that you were like, hey, I can actually do this. I can be a photographer?
It's not really one image. So I started actually with like cityscapes of Pittsburgh. And I did art shows and would go sell the prints. Usually it's smaller ones, nothing big like the Pittsburgh Arts Fest or anything like that, just small local art shows. And I just loved meeting people. I'm really social. So I just love that interaction. I actually didn't plan on photographing people at all. And then my friends asked me to take some photos for them. And I loved that interaction that happened on the portrait shoot. And I decided, oh no, actually forget city and landscape, like working with people is what I want to do. So
what would be your favorite picture?
Does anyone have an answer for that? Yeah, probably my latest shoot that I just did out west, the sunrise at Red Rock Canyon, just because it was new and great lighting and a great couple. But that's how it always goes. That my newest favorite is always pretty much who I worked
From
with
your most
last.
recent
And
shot.
yeah.
Awesome.
That's what stands out.
Born and raised in Bellevue?
Mhm.
And what school did you go to?
Northgate.
Northgate.
Mhm.
So we're going to talk about Northgate School District here in a second, right after we have a brief message from Captured Pittsburgh.
This episode of Captured Pittsburgh Darkroom was filmed at Friendship Perk and Brew. They're your source for fresh coffee, Pittsburgh beer, and food made from scratch from locally sourced ingredients. You can find them at 300 South Pacific Avenue in Pittsburgh. The next round of photographs will go up at the Captured Pittsburgh Shadyside Open Air Gallery on Saturday, May 5th. You can meet and greet the artists at 11 a.m., and we will get to see their photos at 11:30. Come see us at our gallery at 5507 Walnut Street in Shadyside.
Welcome back to Captured Pittsburgh's Darkroom at Friendship Perk and Brew. We're here with Kathryn Hyslop, and we're talking about Northgate High School, Northgate School District, I guess it is, right?
Yep.
So you went there as a kid,
Mhm.
and did they have a photography program at the time when you went? No. So recently, Katie reached out to Captured Pittsburgh well, why don't you tell us about the project and what you're putting together?
Yeah, so one of the members of the school board kind of bumped into me at planning for a different community event, and we're talking about getting the students more involved. They had recently done a survey across the high school about what activities the students were interested in learning in, and I guess photography came up a number of times. So they were trying to just gauge interest and see what they could put together. So after talking to the school board member, I was put in contact with the superintendent, Dr. Johns, and we met for lunch and started kind of planning this. And one of the things that came up was needing some assistance with the program. Eventually, we'd like to turn it over to be fully student run, but in the beginning, they need to know how to use the camera and
a little bit of guidance.
Right, yeah. Some structure for them. So I reached out on Facebook, and someone recommended you guys as a good resource to reach out to.
Yeah, we are 100% about education. Actually, one of our fellow partners, Adam Thomas, he runs our educational program. And once I saw the message when we got tagged in it, I sent him a message right away, and I'm like, we need to be involved in this. Mm-hmm. So I'm glad that it worked out. So we did have our first meeting already, mm-hmm. and a little surprising. We went from first, it was like there's about 10 kids, and then 12, and then there was like 20 kids there, mm-hmm. that were interested. So that's really cool.
Yeah.
And then Northgate, they've been pretty supportive of this program, yes. Right?
Yeah, they've been wonderful. It's been great. The like I said, the superintendent's been really hands-on, helping us get all the equipment that we need for the kids. Because one of the most important things was that we didn't want any financial barriers to entry to the club. Cameras are expensive, and some families just can't, up and buy a DSLR camera for their kid to just pick up a hobby. So the school provided cameras for the kids to be able to use and share and make images.
With that being said, yes, there's that financial donation from the school, mm-hmm. great support from Northgate. We really appreciate it. But we're also still looking for people to donate stuff, mm-hmm. to the program.
Yes.
So they can get a hold of either you,
mm-hmm.
or us at Captured Pittsburgh. Let us know if you have anything, mm-hmm. Anything, lenses, camera bodies that we can, mm-hmm. not just for Northgate, but moving forward with other school districts as we continue to expand our program on our side. But that's probably the hardest part is people that have that interest in photography, but don't have the equipment to actually use and go out and do. So some of the concepts, do you have any plans for the program, like immediate plans that like stuff you're going to cover? Or?
Well, next week we talked about doing portrait shooting and pairing the kids off and teaching them how to take good portraits and letting them kind of explore the school and have fun with that. And then the week after, we're planning on doing more sports photography. So we're going to focus on like different camera settings. So for portraits, we were going to focus on aperture, and for sports, we're going to focus on shutter speed and kind of let them play and see their different settings and how to take a good image. So.
And that sounds to me like the benefit to Northgate on the other side of it is now they're going to have a bunch of students that have cameras that can go out and capture the moments in the school district instead of the teachers running around and trying to take pictures, which all in all gets the students even more involved.
Yeah, they have a student newspaper in the yearbook, of course. So I know they're excited to have this as another option for kids to get more involved.
So that's pretty good. Like I said, we really appreciate you reaching out to us. What's next for you?
For me?
Yeah.
Just keep doing what I'm doing. I mean, I love my job, so that's why I do it.
Awesome. How can we find you? Like our audience here?
Oh, sure. Google Kathryn Hyslop Photography. It's KathrynHyslopPhotography.com. Instagram's at Kathryn Hyslop Photography. It's a long name, but
we'll make sure
you'll
to
find
put
me
it on the screen so they'll be able to do it.
Yeah, I didn't think through how long my name was.
That's true.
When I named my business. Again, fell into it.
How about we hit the spelling, because that's probably gonna, for our people that are listening.
Oh, that's extra long. Okay.
Yes.
So Kathryn is Kathryn. Hyslop is Hyslop. And I hope you all can spell photography, because I don't want to name that out right now.
But that is the name, even Kathryn. Like,
yes. And it's the odd spelling of it, I know.
So like you got the odd spelling the whole way across. So I'm glad we did that. Anything else you want to add before we?
No, I don't think so. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for taking time out of your day. What do you think of this location?
It's awesome. Yeah, I love it. I've never been out here before. It's really cool.
Yes. So Friendship Perk and Brew, they took a coffee shop and craft beer concept and combined it, which,
nice.
I mean,
can't go wrong with two good things like that.
How can you do that? So if you have not been out here to Friendship section of the city, and definitely suggest that you check out this place. So besides that, thank you for joining us today. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, give us a like. Comments in the comments section are always appreciated. If you're following us on iTunes, definitely make sure to subscribe to that. And we will see you next time.
Captured Pittsburgh Darkroom is produced by Jason Fait, Adam Thomas, and Jason Kodat. Captured Pittsburgh Darkroom is a Captured Cities production, copyright 2018.